Hello everyone and welcome to the first stream of 2026 where I'm going to be going over some new stuff in Blender 5.1. We got some new nodes and some very nice extra functionality, some of which you can see right here. In this case, I made a nice little setup that will go and animate text according to just a modifier, so you no longer have to go inside of the geometry node editor to do text, particularly because of the font socket, which is now available, and all of the alignment and spacing options have now been turned into proper menus that we can now see. So let's wait a little bit for everyone to fill into the stream, because, well, it's been, let's see, what day is today? It's the 17th, so I've gone quite a while without doing any new Blender content. But yes, let's take a look at the internals of this little setup. So I'm still working on a few things, and in particular, I may try changing the easing function a little bit, because I was like, wait a minute, what if I didn't have a checkbox for ease in and out, but a slider, so that I could change the easing a bit better? I need to go and check up on that, because I think it is possible, and it would make things a lot better, and, you know, just have one option instead of two for all the easing types. But I will need to look into that. But here we can see the new string to curves node, or the refreshed version of it, and we can see it now has a font socket. Let's go and have a group input for that, which I think, yeah, it didn't add in a new one, it just went to this one right here, where you can go and select any of the fonts that you desire, and it'll just go and apply them, which is so nice. We have all the menu sockets for left, you know, all the alignment, the spacing, the text box, and all of that. One thing that I have in a test build of mine is a word ID, because we have the line ID right there, which apparently internally in Blender, they didn't have the ability to have an index for which word you're on, but it wasn't too difficult to implement. So I just need to get approval if it aligns with Blender's internal structure, and then that might be added in the future. So we'll take a look at that. There is a workaround to get the word ID, which I currently have right here, where you replace each space, which we can see right there. We have and replace with a line break, so that it basically turns this into a word ID, but that is inconvenient because, well, it needs more instances, more data, when it could just be an integer output. So I really hope that the word ID gets approval, but we will see, And the remainder part right here, I actually don't know what that does. I need to look that up. But yes, so basically at the start of this string to curve setup, I basically store a ton of data. You may be wondering, wait, why are you storing the pivot point as a matrix? We'll get into that later. That is very important for future stuff. And then, you know, I fill the curve, set the material, yada yada. This entire part right here is just setting a gradient that will go from, here, if I switch this to factor, we can see that will go from like 0 to 1. One will be the beginning, one will be the end. I know in my gut there's a better way of setting the range than this, but I have not actually discovered it. Ignore this part right here, that's because of the duplicate ID, which is actually not necessary. That's just a test that I've been working on. Actually, we can show that off. So let's go and turn this up to 1, 2, 3. I wanted to see, you know, what would happen if I made it so that you can have duplicates of the words. You know, just basically more effects to play around with. If I go and multiply this by bit, it'll offset them in time, which is cool, but I highly doubt it's a good idea. So I'm just going to go and connect that, make it look a little bit simpler. It's still horrendously complex. It still has a lot to be desired. But then the actual transformation part isn't too bad. You may see an invert part here, which is not here because I have not added that in yet. I want to go and play around with that today. A lot of this is just going to be that, and also the duplicate ID. We don't need that in there anymore. And then this last part here is for the text shadow, which is just another piece of geometry, which is lovely. Oh, just like that, and then does all that. I do need to put an evaluate closure at the end of it, just so that I can add in whatever functionality I want, which is always nice, so that we can have infinite functionality inside of our node groups now, if we so choose. But yes, all that is quite good. And also, because this is Blender 5.1, new nodes got added. The get and, let's see, the get bundle item and the store bundle item. Oh, and also, just so that you have a little heads up, the store named attribute node and, well, I guess the named attribute node, some of these nodes will be going through renaming where this will just become the attribute node. And this one, all the store nodes may turn into get bundle item and get attribute nodes. It's still a little up in the air. And, well, I'm a little bit hesitant to change, like, the store part of the name because that is the main functionality part of the name during a 0.1 release. I think it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, those might go through some renaming in the future, but besides that, get and store bundle item. These ones I worked on, and I had a good amount of help from Jax to this because apparently there was a lot of technical stuff that I simply did not know how to do. But cool stuff. So now we can go and store a bundle item. Let's just name this A1. Actually, we want that in reverse order. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet so that we can actually see the bundle stuff that we are storing. So let's go into the spreadsheets and viewer node. So we should see if I type in A, we now have a bundle item, which is a float and has a value of 0, and it's just like that. And we can switch this to be a collection, we can switch this to be whatever we want, so that actually has that. We can't see the value for a collection, obviously, because that is not an easily findable value. Material, matrix, which we can see this will default to an identity matrix. All of that. We can store bundle items of different types, and they will override if the names do not match. As we can see here, we have a color, which we can change, and then the matrix is stored right there. And then we can get a bundle item. As we can see here, we get a little warning, bundle path not found. And then if we switch it to this, we can see, oh, cannot implicitly convert the item to the selected type. And I wrote that error message. Wait, did I do that correctly? Yeah, no, that seems to be correct. And that'll tell you that, oh, wait, it's the wrong type. So let's switch this to be a matrix, and then all those go away. We can see all that just, oh, wait, we can't showcase that directly. Let's go and change this to a color. And let's see. Oh, wait, that automatically converts? Oh, no, it does not. Okay. There we go. But we can see here, we change that, and then we can get that. We can also see if the attribute exists. The warnings will disappear. Oh, that's because of the implicit conversion. Okay, no, that's proper. But if the item does not exist and you're detecting it using this socket, the warning will not appear. If you disconnect that, the warning will appear. So you can use this for all kinds of procedural setups, and these may be coming into the shader editor, but that requires a separate patch. So under the hood, it should be mostly compatible. Getting the menu socket to dynamically adapt to which node editor tree thingy was not too bad. I just needed to find out what other nodes did that. In particular, the switch node apparently does that. Switch? No, is the switch node even in the shader editor? Might be in the compositor. It's probably in the compositor. But yeah, so these two may be coming to the shader editor as well, just so that you can dynamically set and get bundle items. I've been jumping through so many Blender versions. It's been quite hard to keep track of. Let's see, there's a switch? No, there's just the menu switch, which we have the socket, the menu socket. But I don't think we have strings in here yet. Yeah, no. But let's also check the repeat zone. I'm so glad we have the repeat zone. It's so nice. The items, and yeah, strings are not supported in the shader editor yet, but apparently I think there are plans for that to happen. So that would be the limiter before those get implemented into there. So yes, many cool things in the near future. I also have some other nodes that I'm cooking up behind the scenes, but there are some things I need to make sure get developed first before I can implement them. So, Cool stuff. What is modal node tools? So modal node tools don't exist in Blender at the moment. They're planned, but I'm not sure when, where it's basically node tools, except it would be, how do I put this? If I understand it correctly, which is always a coin toss, it'll be kind of like using a simulation zone, but as a tool? So maybe I shouldn't say any more than that because I'm not too familiar. But I think it's a node tool, kind of like a brush where it gives you feedback. Or like, you know the sculpting brushes? Like you, in theory, would be able to make your own like cloth sculpting brush, though I'm not sure. When those come around, that will lead to some very, very cool stuff. Again, if I understand it correctly, it's been a while since I've looked at the dev notes about that, but that will be very, very cool. So yeah, I think that's all the news for today, but I just want to go and try out some stuff here, because that will be pretty cool. Let's see, is there anything coming for hair simulation with GeoNode's hair? The devs are working on that. It's just taking a while, just because that is... Hair simulation deals with a lot of interesting stuff. It turns out the physics for getting the twisting of the hair and all that is very specific to make sure it does not explode, and it's a bit more difficult than I imagined. But yes. Okay, what did I want to do? One thing I wanted to try with the string here was changing some of the string parts to be random characters, and then you would have a slider to like de-encrypt it. You know, you've seen that text effect before, I think, maybe, I don't know. Let's see, but I need to check. So I'm just gonna have fun playing with this little string, this text animation setup, so feel free to enjoy the stream while I am figuring out what kind of, here's, oh, right, text. Let's see, format string, join strings, match string, replace string. So I think replace, slice, match. What does match do? Ah, okay, so that's just a compare node. Okay. So format string, oh, I know that one. Oh, that one has syntax stuff, which I am not familiar with. Replace string, that one's good. Slice string, and that one's good. So that one, length. Is there a string length node? String length. Yes, there is. So in theory, I would be able to slice the string and then join one or more things at the end of it. Or, wait a minute. Does that support wildcards or does it not? Let's go and take a look. So if we have a string, wildcard, and then it will replace with A. No, that does not work. Well, I want to check is if I can put like one, no, that doesn't work because commas would also be implemented. So in, let's see, let's see, join strings or no, I just need a string input. So what I want to try is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Wow, it's so weird. Typing alphabetically on a keyboard. They're so scattered. I never quite realized that before. But what I want to do is pick one character from this thing to replace this. So it would be like, wait, let's set that to be length of 1. So we can go and, yes, change all of that. But I want the different parts to have different kind of seed values. And I was thinking about how to do that, just to kind of scramble the text. And I was like, I could just go and have all these letters as instances, and then swap the instances later. But that would not dynamically affect the spacing, like with this text. So I need to do it like this, but I need to replace just certain parts with certain other parts. So I could use like a repeat zone to randomly select different parts of the string and replace them. which may be a good idea or may be a bad idea. I would have to do this like 26 times to get all of the letters. And wait, is it case sensitive? I feel like it's case sensitive. It's case sensitive. Okay. So that adds in 2 more. So the question is, do I want to run a repeat zone? Wait, are there 24 or 26 letters in the alphabet? Anyway, it'll either be 48 or 52. No. Simple math, I can't do it today. But you understand what I mean. It's like, maybe I could do it. Like, the easier way would be to just take the end of the string and replace it with a random character, and then it would eventually, like, just go back to where it originally was. And then I'd just have it for, like, the first couple ones there. And that would be cool. That would be cool, yeah. Slice it, and then that happens. I just join the strings, trim them, and then join them. Yeah, no, that would be cool. I just have my lookup table there. I look up things using the index, and then I join them all together. So, let's see. And write the delimiter. I don't need a delimiter here. All I need to do is randomize these as they go along. So I just need a random value. Then I just need to get the string length. Or no, I don't even need to do that because I know it's here. Just do that, and then we just need different seed values. And if you're wondering why this is giving an error, it's because this is not being read as a single value. Need to have an integer input, and then that fixes that. I know that's a bit weird, especially with the circle socket there, but it's fine. Go and have that. We do that, and then for the length here, we need to switch that. Then we don't need to replace anything because I'm going to be slicing this. So we're going to slice the string. I know this is complicated, but yeah, no, I'm just having fun today. Just having fun. So that'll be, no, we need to subtract. Then with this one, we need to set position to be 0, length 3. So if we have another integer input to sync those up, integer, we do that and that. Then we join the strings there. This should do what I want. Go and chop out that part. And as we can see, wait, what? Oh, wait, yeah, no. Let's go there, position 0 there. Welcome to, oh wait, no, not that. So if I had this synced up with the scene time frame, plug that into there, we'll be able to see, yes, that is being scrambled, and then that happens. So we just go through and do all that. And then the more it does that, it's just like do. So that can work. Random things right there, and I'm going to limit that to 3 because as soon as you go to 4-letter randomized characters, things can go bad very fast. There we go. So that works. So is there a way to just have this be whatever? Because we could just have a repeat zone do all that, but it's not exactly what I would want. But no, I think what I have here is good enough. We have that, and then we just trim that. And then, yeah. Let's do that, and then do. So, with that, we can just feed it into our string input right there. Let's go and make everything a lot cleaner now. Remove that. And I'll need to go and do this, put that into a frame or something. So here we can see, okay, so that's a problem. Where it is really making everything just go wacko mode right there. So maybe it's actually good if I just replace the instances later on. Oh yeah, maybe it is actually better. Because it would preserve the text spacing. Then just replace. Yeah, no, maybe that is how it's supposed to go. Because as we can see here, it's just having a seizure because of that. And also, it's probably necessary. Probably. I'm just gonna keep that in mind. I'll just put that to the side. Well, actually, no, I can't move it too far away because I will forget about it. I do want to play around with the easing functions to make it so that... yes, I forgot about all of that. And then bounce out. Oh, yeah. All that's just in there. So the ease in and out. This is the part I would have to change to make this a slider rather than a thing. Which maybe, yeah, let me go and play around with this right here. Or no, wait, should I... I'll just play around with it in here. I'm just gonna Control C, Control V. Let's go and get a nice curve line. Let's go and get that. I'll need to resample it to be somewhat high. Also, if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the chat. I know I am going at speed, as I usually do, but I will check the chat. Start and the end. No, I'm just going to make it so that's the right way around, so that when I add in the easing function, that I need to go and show the node options. I'm going to duplicate that. Does that? Yep, that makes everything available besides that one, which we do not need to worry about. Let's go and set the position. We're going to use a vector math multiply right there. Let's see. I can't hear you well. Speak up. Let me check the OBS levels. No, the OBS levels are well within range. I think turning up your volume may be the way to go. Though, if my voice is a bit quiet, please let me know. If it's multiple people. Let's see. There we go. Wouldn't it be epic to be able to use scripts in geometry nodes? It would, but that will not happen. The devs have said that it probably won't happen, and I think it's mainly due to security reasons, because with add-ons, with any add-on, it always has a chance to break stuff on your computer, just because it can save files anywhere. So that's why when you have an add-on or just a script, it usually prompts you to be like, hey, do you want this to run? So having that with the geometry nodes, you know it's going to be safe because all the nodes cannot go and ruin everything outside of it. So having a full-on scripting thing inside GeoNodes won't really happen. Is this easing node available for sale? I forget if I put this up on my Gumroad. I'm not sure. It's either in my everyday geometry node groups, or I forgot to do that. Basically, it's useful because, you know, you can set the ease in and ease out. But what I want to do is make it so that I can slide this forward and backward so that you can change, like, what kind of easing. Because when you animate stuff in Blender, if I were to keyframe and then press T, you can see, oh, they added in colors. Oh, that's so nice. You can see that you have, you know, that and that, but if you don't know, you can press, wait, what is it? No, not T. Is it Control T? No. E? No, Control E. For easing. I wish this was more accessible because people keep forgetting that this exists. But with the easing, you have ease in, ease out, or ease in and out. But those are just Boolean values. So I want to check, again, if it's possible for me to make it a sliding gradient. I want to just check. Then here, oh, okay. So I have a switch. Oh, okay. I understand now. So to make this work, you basically need to make a custom ping pong and then make the gradient move in and out. And then on that side, I need to kind of undo it, or not undo it, but make it so that the range that's applied is like that. Okay. Because if I don't have that part right there, we can see it just goes dun da da, And then I remap it so that it does that, so that it meshes perfectly. And if I do not have the ease in out part there, we can see that it's just the regular easing, except not mirrored, essentially. So that part is cool. So what I essentially need to make is like, how do I do this correctly? I need to, oh, I remember this being a pain. I'll need like 2 map ranges. And then, oh yeah, no, it won't be too bad. Value, this will be the factor. So one will end there, one will start there. And then I need to switch between the two using a greater than. Let's see if this works. So I need to use a switch node between the two. It'll be very interesting if this works first try. It won't, but it would be very cool if it did. Right there we have that, and we can see. So if we have this, oh no, it's affecting. Wait, I pressed the plus button. Why is it options? I duplicated it, didn't I? Dang it. Okay, well, I save this in a different file anyway. Let's do that, and I'm going to fix these guys right here real quick so that I do not affect the original file. I'll plug that back in, and that one should, yep, that one is working as intended. Just gonna save this. Let's see. Will complex numbers be a thing in future updates? I have not heard anything about that. I should know what complex numbers are. I keep forgetting. It's like, oh yeah, no, that's something with math. I've probably used them quite a bit, but I just don't remember. Okay, and then with this side, I need to go and invert you. Is that correct? Or it might be the opposite way. But we can see right now the easing. Let me go and zoom in because that's probably really small in all of your monitors. You can see that that is happening there and there. One, so no, that's not too bad. There we go, that's better. And then I just need to remap this accordingly, where, oh yeah, no, this is going to be easy. He lied as easily as he breathed. I just need to connect you. You will be the in/ease out factor. Ease. That just needs to be ease in/out factor. I need to remember that there's an E at the end of ease. So instead of having 2 booleans, it will be just a factor slider, which will be at 0.5 just to start out. Or no, it should be all the way. Wait. Yeah, no, which way should that slider go? Anyway, well, it'll be fine. Okay, so for now, I'm just going to set to be 0.75 so that we can see what's going on. We can chop that out. Now that we have that kind of gradient going on, what I need to do is then multiply the gradients, or no, I need to remap. Okay, so I basically need to do the same thing here, but just in a different, slightly different manner. So let's bring this over to here. That's doing all of that, so we're switching between the two. But instead of doing the from min and from max, these need to be the same. Not the same, but close to it. And the factor, I just need to, okay, I need to think about this real quick. This one, it should be like that and that. Oh, no. Dang it. Wait. How is this supposed to go? I'm not supposed to do that and that. So I think I need the original gradients going in through there. Did I do this correctly? Later then. Oh no, that's the input value. And also I need to clamp the input value. That was acting a bit weird when I did not clamp it. A bit harder to do everything. But yes, this is what I needed to do. We have the inputs right here. Now the greater than is switching between the two as expected. Map range, and we need to unclamp these so that when it goes back, that'll be proper. Ooh, this is going to be a fun experiment. Yeah, that's the problem right there. No, this should not be the value. This should be that, and then the in-out factor. There we go, okay. So now I can affect both of these separate. So this one should be like that and that. But we need to make it essentially so that these are proportional and this gap does not exist. So if I were to affect this part, we can see that that's the one we want to change on this side. And then this should be the part I affect on this side. So they need to be, one needs to be the ease in out factor, and one needs to be the inverted or the 1 minus version. So if we do that and that, nope, not that one, we should see, okay. There. So I think in this case, this one should be 0.75. So that one should just be that. Now this one, oh, and that one also needs to be 0.75? Oh, well, I won't complain about one less node being used. So in theory, oh, it just works. How about that? It just works. In the famous words of Todd Howard, and it's less nodes than the original. How about that? I'm a genius. Part-time. We don't need to clamp this input value because it's just, you know, a greater than. Well, that's fine. There we go. And I will need to backport this because I think the original easy node was like made in 4 point whatever or something like that. There we go. Ease in, out factor. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Why is that graying out? Ew. Oh shoot. What did I do to mess everything up? Okay. No, I just need to get rid of out. Ease in. Okay. That still gets rid of you. Now this part should still exist just fine. Why are you complaining? It's in. Oh, okay. So, okay. I need to make it. Okay. I think I should have another slider for the influence so that it can mix between just the regular gradients and the eased gradients. So this should default to 1. So another group input. Then this one will be, yeah. I'm a little annoyed by that. It should be fine. And the 2 min and 2 max, while it's not necessary, I'm just having that for... And I could make it so that you can extend it even more. So yeah, that slider makes it so that you can ease between the linear and that. Yeah, I'd rather it be a slider than just that, and then, yes, that and that. I like that a lot. And then setting that and that, and we could also make that even more. Oh yeah, no, that is a good idea. Okay, now I can just chop that out, and chop you out. So it's a lot of your nodes. That is good. I do not mind having less to deal with. Let me move you up top. The only thing I'm a little worried about is if there's like float point precision errors due to this being a greater than or a less than. It should be fine, But there is a little voice in the back of my head saying, nope, that's gonna bite you in the rear later. But for now, because I'm a lazy bum, I'm just going to copy that one frame and put it over there. There we go. Oh, and by the way, the easing functions are from easings.net. Very, very useful stuff. But yeah, there we go. That is Blessed Nodes. I love it. You love to see it. So ease in and out, and the ease factor. I think I'll put that in the kind of hidden options just to make it easier. Yeah, ease factor, and then the 2 minute. Oh yeah, no, just making it as user friendly. Ease. Ease in and out. Oh, I wish that was easier to see. I don't want to make it that much wider. Oh, and factor I need to capitalize. Yeah, I think that's better. Because you're going to have easing. And then yeah. Okay. That's just a better way of making it work. And then if you want to turn it off, it'll be like that. Fine. Or maybe I could... No, you're gonna have... If you will have easing. I will not allow just a linear interpolation unless like you specifically ask for it. And then like with it being elastic, you could do that or you can double it. But we can see that that leads to some bad things. So, oh yeah, no, you could just do that. Then with the ease in and ease out. Oh, that works well. Let's see. I do quite enjoy that, don't I? That is good. Yeah, no, I should have done that. Okay, so this easing node, I will put in my everyday node groups. Post haste. So when the stream's over, I'll do that. Oh yeah, no, and that's good. Even though that easing is a little bit dubious. How it just goes to and then it switches to the other one. Having just the option is nice. That you can just buy a switch side. In my personal opinion, I think exponential. Oh yeah, I like that. So where it goes. That is good. That is good. Back. Oh yeah, back works just fine. Yep, that works. Bounce. That is an interesting one. I don't think you'll be using it like that. Yeah, and then that, and then that. If I were really greedy, I would make it to where you would have options for the ease in and the ease out. I'm just thinking of so many different things to do with this. And yeah, but that's making things way too complicated. By default, it'll ease... Or wait, should this be inverted? Because this means this is an ease out, right? Then that is an ease in. So I may have to reverse this. Sign. That's an ease in. And that's an ease out. So I either need to reverse the naming. By default, I do want it so that it'll do this because easing out is what most people will do. Yeah, no, I need to reverse that. Okay, we just need to move around, or no. Do we need to flip these two around? I think I might regret that. Flip those two around. Nope, that is a grand mistake. Let's see, I'm not going to put a 1 minus in there. That is not necessary. I'll switch both of these to less thans, and then adapt the other parts accordingly. Yeah, no, that, yeah, that screws some of my plans up. No way. Might need to, yeah, okay, that may have fixed that part. Then here, I may need to switch the, okay, no, that works. Okay. No, that brought us back to square one. I double negatively inversed it. Like a genius. I may have to do that part. What does that do? Okay. There we go. And then for this part, I just need to set that to 1 and that one to 0. I feel like I'm screwing this up. Let's see. Nope. Back to square one again. Okay, looks like I might have to do a 1 minus like I should have done originally. Even though that kind of sucks, you know? 2 more nodes. So sad, so sad. Subtract, just do 1 minus, just to invert the values. 2 more nodes. Better than this. Also, let me just remember to set that back to a greater than, and this one back to a greater than, and this one right here, 1 minus to invert the value, and it should work. It does not. Okay, what's the problem? What is the problem? Ah, no, I see the problem. There we go. Yeah, that did not control Z hard enough. That needs to be 1, that needs to be 0. And, wow, no, I thought I control Z'd more. That needs to be 1, it needs to be 0, that 1 and 0. Okay, no, I royally screwed it up. Okay, we are... I cannot control Z more. Oh my god. I've messed up. I've sinned. Okay. Let's get this back in working order. Okay. Hide you. So you're screwed up. Oh no. Oh no. That's not doing anything. Do those need to be? Okay, those need to be swapped. Okay, good, good, good. So with this part. Okay, and then these parts need to be swapped. Okay, good. Whew. Here we go. I want that to be the opposite. So again, right here, just need a 1 minus the ease in and out factor. Do that, collapse. So that will be good. Then in this part, I need to do the exact same thing here. Make sure that's on the bottom socket, not the top. So that, that's what I was afraid of right there. I may need to switch, of course that doesn't work. Yep, that is great. What is the problem? Okay, so the easing. Do I need to invert these in order to make it? That does the... This fixes that. I thought that would be the easiest fix out of the bunch. There we go. That one's ease out, that one's ease in. Now the midpoint does move the opposite way as you would kind of expect. Oh, hello, Quackers. How's it going? Forgot to read the chat again. Oh no, I said I would. Let's see. Let me read the chat again. Thanks for all the info. I'm thinking about buying a Junode's hair sim add-on on Blender Market. That's why I was asking. Okay. Yeah, if there's one on Blender Market, it probably works, if I had to guess. But just like a super accurate one with good collisions, that one isn't super possible in Blender yet. But yeah, let's see. Well, complex, no, I already read that. I just watched your XPPD video. Is that alpha build yet? No, but the devs are working on that, and I think that'll probably be in 5.1, but it'll just take some more time for it to be merged. Hello. Don't know much about what's going on, just wanted to say hi and chill. Ah, hello. Yes, I'm working on a text animation tool, and that led me to a tangent where I'm working on my easing functions, where I'm switching from just two booleans to switch between easing in and out to a slider where you can just, you know, just ease in and out like that. Now, the checkbox is a lot clearer where you could just, oh, ease in, ease out. But the slider adds in so much more functionality, and you would only have to keyframe one thing if you wanted to change it. So I'm very biased towards one instead of the other. Yeah. Though in the future, if we get the... Oh, it's snowing outside. If we get closures where we can put in like a curve or something like that, which probably will be in 5.1 if I had to bet on it, this would become a little redundant, but it would be easier to work with. This will be ease out by default, because easing out is just what people should do normally. Factors like that, you can switch that to 2, which, oh, basically turns that into there. I'm going to leave this unbounded so that you can, in theory, do that if you really want to break it. But yeah, there is that. That is working phenomenally. And yeah, I'll put this on my Gumroad page. In, out. Use in/out. I think the word factor isn't needed because that is ease in/ease out. Yep. That's a bit better. Or, no, this will probably be less user-friendly. I could make it just I/O. Ease in/out. Nah, I'll leave the name. People can see it a bit better. That means it will be completely ease out. Be completely ease in. Yes. Go. So yeah, I'll just need to backport this to my 4.3? Is that where all my node groups are at this time? Or 4.1? I keep forgetting because I still use Blender 4.1 quite often, actually. Just because for work, well, mainly just for Eevee Next, Eevee Legacy, if I'm being honest. And it's just more reliable for work and stuff like that. Or the like previewing stuff. But yeah, I keep switching between all kinds of Blender versions. Different clients want different things. Yeah. What was I gonna do besides this? So, yeah, the text scrambling, that part does work if I want to do that. Oh wait, should I try the instanced version? Where I play around with... It's going to copy you. I love seeing that. That's so nice. Just all the sockets lined up like that. So good, so nice. You love to see it. But here, if I wanted to do instance scrambling... How would I make that work correctly? Keeping the IDs would be a pain. So I'm going to do that post all this. I store all the IDs and then I can do the scrambling. Or... No. No, this will be fine. Because this will be 2 points. I need to swap instances. How do I swap instances correctly? There's instances to points, and I have a selection right there. Or I could go and separate geometry like a person would properly do. So the selection would be turned into points, and it already has all the data on it. And then I just instance on points, and it'll just be these instances, which already have... Pivot points, yeah, no, all that should be correct. We pick the instance. The instance index will be random according to what I want. So we do a boolean right there, and then we do that. So in theory, oh, right, and I need to join geometry. Now it will mess up a few of the. I need to store the character ID. Oh, it didn't. Oh, connected to the wrong one. Okay, that is a bit of a problem. I mean, shouldn't reset the instance transform, right? Because most of it is just zeroed out. Selection and then the end. Oh wait, no, that's because I forgot to invert it. Yeah, no, because we're swapping things out. And then for the instance transform, maybe this will work. Combine, transform. Ah, there we go. So now you could make yourself feel like you're having a stroke. So fun. Scene time. Frame. There we go. So now, and as is the rite of passage with EV Next, turn off temporal reprojection. Turn off most denoising. Turn off fast GI. There we go. I don't have ray tracing on, but I... Oh no, oh no. Oh wait, I could just set the ID and that'll probably fix a lot of those issues with the motion blur. That was what I was worried about when splitting and rejoining everything. So yeah, if I was going to add in the text scrambling, which that's less notes than the other one I was thinking about doing. Much less notes compared to that. And it doesn't cause any text jumping. And I could just make this random characters, including like other stuff. So this part, not even necessary. Let's go and bring that over to here. We can go and collapse that. Good, that part's good. Less nodes. So this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to include it. It would be cool. It would be cool to include it, but I think it's kind of not the most necessary, if I'm being honest. Resetting the instance transform, which, wait a minute. Wait. I can just store named attributes. Make this a 4x4 matrix. The instance domain set as instance transform, and I could just do that. The store attribute node, that's what's going to be named in the future, or get attribute, or no, set attribute. Yeah, no, oh, I misremembered. This would be set attribute instead of store named attribute, just to simplify the names. Though I think store attribute would be fine. Actually, chat, if I could get your opinion. In my head, the semantics with set versus store. Set to me, and this is just the way my brain functioned, set implied setting pre-existing data, while store implied that you could store new data. Like with this, I could set the instance transform, or I could store attribute number 5347. 5347. That's how the semantics played in my brain, but again, that's probably just the way my brain worked. Probably not everyone else's. So we have all that. We could go and hide all that. We can go and collapse that. Collapse you. So this right here is our, and that works up to, and we could go and set that to 1000. We won't have more characters than that happening, but it's fine. That is good. And it saves the rest of the data. Fill curve we don't need to worry about. Though this would probably break motion blur. Or would it? I'm not sure. Let's see. Then, since the gradient gets stored in post. Oh yeah, and I do store the character ID. Good. Maybe I should have that happen after the progression, so that I could use the progression as the probability slider. That might be a good idea. But the further along it is, the more of a chance it has to do that. That may be the way to go. Bring this over to here, so... Oh, this is so clean. Look at this. Oh, this is amazing. Go and bring this over to here, and that way over to there. Yeah, though, to be honest, meshing it should probably... Meshing should happen here. It should happen before it gets transformed, just in case, even though it won't really matter. Go... Yeah, no. Don't you love it when you have to move around, like, huge chunks in your node tree? Actually, no, this isn't bad at all. That's not bad at all. Worst part is that. So maybe I'll keep the text scrambling in, but I am not sure. Here we go. And we need to 1-, of course, or I could just swap around the selection and no, I'm gonna 1-. So here it is like Okay, and then maybe I need to set the ID. So that ID, and that'll be the index as well. So this should, I think, fix the jump. Oh, wow. To be honest, I did not expect that to actually work. How about that? And that means I could get rid of the character ID. Oh yeah, no, I do need to get rid of the character ID because that's not the actual character ID. Whoop, we're just going to go and chop that out. This one will just use the ID, even though it is just the index at this point. I'm just gonna keep it in there. And is the character ID used anywhere? No, okay. So just setting the regular ID, that's the way to go. Progression into there. So this is the Scrambler. Oh my gosh, I can't type for the life of me. And I did not name any of the frames in here. I am slipping when it comes to my formatting. There we go. So you can't really see the scrambling there, but you can see the scrambling here. And for this one, I just need to add in more text. So it's all lowercase, but maybe I should make it... I don't know. Oh, no, that's actually the great thing about proceduralism. I could just go and... We're going to just get rid of both those. All those special characters, and I could put in more if I wanted to, but I think that's good for now. There we go. So it'll be like that. There we go. I think that's all right. Though I could make it even more random, including capitals, all that. Yes, and also let's not forget any more that I should put in? Wait, is the tilde in there? The tilde is not in there. That needs to be in there. There we go, and I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's everything that I would actually want. Except, wait. There we go. There we go. So yeah, scrambling. I'll put in a switch node in case people actually want to use it. And this is better than... it's better than actually editing the string. Just because you don't have to... deal with the jittering in the spacing. Yep, I'll have that as a nice option so that the user can scramble. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Oh, I was like, why is the shadow not looking right? But it's because I was not in the orthographic view. Let's see. Your mic is not very strong and it's hard to hear you. Oh, no. It should be... Oh, yeah, no, that is... I am so sorry, everyone. I've been talking away from the mic. I'm gonna move it closer, but I also need to go into voice meter once again. So sorry, everyone. I'm going to bump this up to 5. I did edit my sound, which is very, very nice. So yeah, it's probably a bit different. There we go. So sorry. So sorry. Yeah, good audio. I thought about buying a new microphone, but I could not find one that was actually better than the one I currently have for the price I wanted to pay for it. Because it's just like, what I currently have is fine. Like any microphone, well, not any. Any microphone in the range that I have sounds good when I put voice meter to it. Which ups the bass to make it sound more like, you know, more professional. Okay. So I could make it. The one other thing that could make this a little bit better is if I store the pivot point. Now the thing is, what I'm wondering is, does this actually override? Doesn't look like it, okay. Yeah, no, and we don't want it to override that anyway. Because we want that to be the same. We don't want any jittering to happen. Why all that was set up. We're simply replacing the instances. And we can actually seed value. That's fine. Let me just change that to 10,061. Go, and then this part right here. I don't like how vertically stacked that all is, so I'm just going to change that. Progression changes, so it's just like do-do-do. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yep. The way these assets are laid out, that'll be fine. What else do I need to do? Oh, right, extrusion. So right now, of course, we can see that these are not extruded, but that is needed. Congrats on getting the store get bundle item nodes merged. Thank you. I need to thank Jax once again for fixing, apparently, like, with... yes. Extrusion, that works out well. Apparently with those nodes... Let's see, let me remember. There was, like, some parts of Blender that didn't fully support, like, the get and store item functionality, or maybe that was on the UI side. Oh, it's been an hour. Oh, I need to wrap this up. Where was I going with that? So the devs had to implement some new stuff for that. Or, yeah, include that into there. So if I were, and this is just what happens with the nodes normally, if I did not have help from the developers, it would not be able to be completed. So I'm so happy that the devs are so willing to help me on my little projects there. Let's change that to Z, and also all the feedback, because I am not a coder. Just code when I feel like it. Also, this needs to be a set position, or a store named attribute node, because by default, the set position, this is working on the instance domain, while this is working on the instance geometry. But we can override, we can make it so that we're actually affecting the position with this, rather than going through this sets stuff automatically. Depending on context, this sets stuff explicitly, given what we know. And we can use a named attribute. So that is why, or an attribute, I need to get used to naming it the new way. This is why I love this. This node is the greatest thing to ever exist, because it is so generalized. Here I'm going to multiply this. I don't know, should I? Yeah, no, this should be just up and down displacement rather than just down. Or maybe it should just be down. Maybe that would be better. Also, these are hollow on the bottom side. Oh, maybe they shouldn't be. Can't do the beveling because that is beyond my technological expertise. Let's see. That's all that. So yeah, that part would be text extrusion, which is nice. But it does slow things down a little bit. Because again, all this is generating on the fly. So on the timing side, it's taking a few milliseconds. So if I were to have 10 text objects moving at once, this will lag quite quickly. Now, unfortunately, the bake node does not have a socket. I will be looking into if that's possible, if it is with this. I don't entirely think it's possible to have one kind of socket type for that. Like with the animation and still, maybe that could be an enum socket, but that's not what I'm worried about. That one could just still be internal. But this part right here, this needs to be a socket for quite a few setups to work properly. Like if you want to bake like all of this could be baked, or not all of it, but most of it. Well, actually no. All of, dang. Up to here can be baked. And then the fill curve. Oh no, fill curve can happen beforehand because that's the most expensive part of all this. Which one is cheaper? N-gons are more expensive than triangles. Oh, well, good to know. Let's see, if I fill all of these beforehand, all of that could be baked, and then all of it can proceed. But yeah, but I really need to look and see if that can be done, because that'll allow for so many cool things to happen in the modifier tab rather than people having to go inside of node groups to do it. And for assets, we really need to be able to have the like, oh, bake for faster performance, just because that's better. That's good. Okay. I don't understand what store/get bundle items are. Where can I read more documentation about it? I don't think there is documentation yet because it hasn't been written yet. Yeah, but basically, here. Do you know about the combine bundle node, where you can go and use a vector input, connect it there, come on, buddy. There. And then if we look in the spreadsheets, there we go. We can see all of them right here. Vector 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these can be, you know, different data types and all that. It's just a ton of data stored in a bundle. It could be like collections and all that. It could be anything. With the store bundle item, it's basically just that, but you can use a string to get it. So to store it. So if I press A, again, it stores it in there. It could be any type, even an image and everything, but we can't really see the data like that. Material, even another bundle. Oh, and also you can use, is it / or /? Yeah, how that works. But you should be able to, let me check the PR real quick. Blender main. Because this was one part that Jax did that I did not do. Let's see. Setting a path at, okay, so it's that way. So A. This, wait, what? Invalid bundle path. Oh, can it not create? Oh, wait. The slashes are that way. Okay. A. So these parts are the nested bundles, I think. So if we were to separate bundle from there, and oh, Blender crashed. Oh, that is will need to be looked into, because you should be from the PR or the commit. you should be able to put the slashes in between to make a nested bundle. And from the looks of it, maybe it's because it's a bundle and all that. Yeah, no, I'll need to look into that. 1 second, everyone, while I, please tell me it auto-saved within the last, 50 years. Okay, good. Not bad, not bad. Let's go and save that. Window, toggle window full screen. Let's go and store bundle item. In this case, it'll be, let's make, sorry. Let's make it a float. So A. Let's take a look at this, please. There we go. Yep. So we can see it's a bundle, and then a float because it is nested. So extra functionality, which is always nice to see. So, and now let's go and separate the bundle. Will this crash? Yeah, oh wait, it doesn't crash. I refresh the node. Sync. No bundle signature found. So that's something that, yeah, I'll need to, yeah, that's... Okay, so it looks like some other things may need to happen for it to work properly. But if we use, instead of that one, yeah, it looks like some things were, yeah, I need to look into that. But get bundle item. Here we can see, if we take a look at this, nothing appears because, well, we have no path. If we switch to A, it's like, oh, wait, why is that? Oh, it can't convert the item to the selected type. So if we do that, that's a proper bundle, and we can see it gets the bundle parts underneath that. But if we do A/A, it'll give us the bundle part there and the nested tree, and then that, we'll see, oh no, it can't implicitly convert because we need to switch it to the correct type. And then we get our bundle item right there. So just the ability to nest stuff that easily, that is very, very good. That is very useful. That'll be very useful for like grander workflows and like maybe particle systems and stuff like that. It's gonna be great. It's going to be amazing. So, cool stuff. Having like basically, I guess, file paths or something like that. Bundle paths. Just like, if we think of this as system, particle system, I don't know. So particle system, let's see, if this was like a force slash gravity. If you had that, and then you had a vector, you could go and pull that. So in this case, this will be a vector, and if we use the viewer, we can see that, you know, this will be 9.8 meters per second, and then you can get that. So that is very powerful. That's while I wasn't thinking of like the nested bundling when I initially thought of the idea of this node, it just shows the power of something that's more generalized. Because if you did not have this and you had it nested, you would have to separate bundle, separate bundle, separate bundle. But this makes stuff a little bit easier if you're looking for one item. Like you can create entire data trays using that? Yes. And that is part of the power. And also, since this is a string input, you can set it dynamically. So you can use like a string input, you know, you can format the string, you can use a repeat zone with a dynamically changing string. So there are so many possibilities with this. So I hope that I'll need to look into the bundle signature. That thing I have not been able to. I encountered that issue in the past. Wait, it does. This recognizes what it has. Why doesn't the node? But yeah, here we can see like the stuff inside that bundle. On the viewer and the But yeah, that recognizes what's in there, just not the actual node. And if we try to connect it, it crashes. So it seems like I probably forgot just a little thing, and that did all that. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna go back to there. I don't think what else is there to go over so far? Yeah. Go and check this once again. So yes, we have text scrambling. And then what else? What else? What else? What else did I want to do with this? So extrusion will have to be another switch node in case people want it or don't want it. Oh, and I also need to, because these are only one side of it, I would either have to, yeah, flip faces, join geometry, and then send it through the system. So, oh no, but that would join, because it's on the instance level, I can't do that. Dang it. That is, unless I wanted to do forge instance, yeah, no, I can't do that properly. So, these will have to be only half full. How often do you see text from the bottom side? Not often. So yeah, I'm just going to completely ignore that issue. Like a proper developer. If I were a proper developer. I'll address that, but it's fine. Yeah, I think that's why I wish Extrude Mesh had an option to fill the bottom side. Like, I know you can do it with nodes, but the problem with that is that you can't always do it with nodes. Especially in certain scenarios. And this is a specific scenario. I should set the spline resolution to be potentially a bit lower. Should I do it in pre or post? Setting it to be like 1 when the scrambling happens, again, optionally. Yeah, no, I need to have that option available to the user. That's another option that needs to be available so that you don't get completely overwhelmed. Yeah, by default, what is it by default? The default is 12. I think that's a bit too high. Just like that, just to make it a lot, yeah, to speed up things quite a bit. There's that, there's that, there's that. Let's see, imagine being able to iterate over an entire bundle folder using lists in the future. Yep, you'll be able to do that. Might not be the fastest just because of repeat zone overhead, but it'll be possible. That's the goal. That is the goal. It's pretty good. Uh-oh. Where's, hello? Uh-oh, did I accidentally delete here? Where is it? Buddy? Where'd the text go? Uh-oh. Where did it all go? Where did the object go? It is there. It's being read as not existing. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm in local view. Okay. I think local view should be removed, or it should not have a hotkey. There we go. Okay. Ah, Chinese. There we go. Okay, that works. So I just need to put in options for the text scrambling, and I need to find some good fonts. If only there was someone in the chat who is very good at typography and stuff like that. Let's go and save this. I'm actually going to go and try to find a very funky font real quick. Let's see now. Times New Roman. Yeah, that sounds very non-standard. Wingdings. Yes, wingdings. That's what we want. It does work, you know? Isn't it weird that wingdings exists? Like someone was like, you know, I want a font that's completely useless and just for fun. And then they put it in every single program for the last 20 years. Yep. Okay. But now, since we're at an hour and 20 minutes, I think that is everything for today. Let's see, I bought some fonts from some studios, and I'm blanking on their name right now, but I can DM you the demo versions of their fonts that are free for personal use. Ah, okay. Yeah. With this font setup, with this text animation setup, again, it is very versatile. I do plan on putting it up on Gumroad when Blender 5.1 comes out, but we still have like 2 to 3 months before that happens. So there's plenty of time to go and change some stuff. Yeah, I'm hoping to get the word ID merged or get approval for it. And then let me go and actually name some of this. So that's Scrambler, extrude, shadow. Does the shadow need to be extruded? Probably. Shadow extrude. This is just transform. And then the invert, I need to either chop that out or add it to everything. I'll add it to everything just because we already have it there. Removing it is easier than adding it. So let's go and there. So invert. Whee! Oh wait, but that does not invert the scrambling. Oh, I can make it so that it does. It's like I could just reverse the progression, but that would also reverse the easing, which I kind of don't want. Maybe I should. Yeah, actually I'm gonna... that part needs some more thought. Because it would be so much easier just to invert the progression value, just flip it. But that, yeah, that does flip the easing. But... yeah, no, that... yeah, no, that should just be the case. It'll just simplify everything. Less nodes, the better. Location, that's the rotation. If you're wondering why the rotation is a vector instead of a quaternion, it's because with quaternions, you can't go more than 360 or 180. I think 360 degrees, because since it's described as a quaternion, interpolation between quaternions isn't great. Oh, also, and if you're wondering why I stored the pivot point as matrix, that's because using that basically makes it so that I can do the location, rotation, and scale from the pivot point origin easily, rather than having to do all of them in separate nodes. So, multiplying the matrix by the pivot point matrix, and then inverting that and then doing that makes it so that it rotates from the pivot point rather than the origin. So if I turn off this, it'll just rotate from the instance center, which as we can see, has some caveats to it. So that's how that's done. So now I can change the pivot point and it will dynamically do all that. Now, could I just store it as a vector and then use a combined transform and then do all of that? Yes. But it's less nodes if I do it this way. It's more expensive? Yes. Is it easier? Also yes. Shadow, extrude, yada yada, all of that. The invert, let me just go and connect that. I need to swap the inputs because by default I want it to be one way. So that's another thing. This is lovely. Let's go and put this over to here. Let's go and bring that. We're gonna go and do just a bit more space for everything to breathe. We should see. It's pretty good. And then since the invert is applied, it's just whoop, inverting. So yes, that's how it's done, and that is good. It's getting a little bit sore. So yeah, let's go wrap this up real quick. Okay. What in the After Effects is going on here? Well, that's the thing. I don't use After Effects, so I don't have a good reference point for it. But yeah, no, I'm not. If it resembles After Effects, it just means, oh, we can, you know, open source. Well, we can't do this in like the Blender's video editor, but I'd say this is more powerful because you can have nice 3D text going around in your 3D scene. So you could do all that, but we still need to wait until 5.1 because of all that. But so much is possible using geometry nodes, especially if you make it into a convenient little Gumroad product when 5.1 comes out. But yes, extrusion, I'm going to mute that for the time being. So the shadow's fine, all that's fine. I just need to have a thing for scrambling. So I'll have another option for text effects at the bottom. One will be for scramble, because that one is dynamic. And we could go and bring this down a bit. That part's good. And yeah, that looks good to me. And I'm also thinking, yeah, I should just make it so that the extrusion will go down instead of up, because yeah, no, that's the way to go. So I can just go and put not into there, and then I can just go and chop that out, just have you, and called a day. Let me go and check this out. Good. Perfection. Also, I'm going to flip that around, switch that to be a subtract so that I can make it so that's like that. Very, very nice. Less nodes, which means it's better. There we go. So it's very nice. The easing function, the new one that has a gradient so that you can go and just, I think people will like sliders more than just checkboxes, you know, it's just better. And then the factor for the easing, I don't think I'll expose at this level because people can just switch it to sine, which is almost linear, and you should never use linear easing unless you're doing something robotic. So it's best if I don't have it as an option, just forcing users into a good default state. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Using geonodes like this is like After Effects, but for free. For free, but you have to build it yourself, or download it from someone else. Though, if this were an asset in Blender 5.1, I wouldn't be mad. That would be kind of cool. I was also thinking, just in my... I am just extending the stream because I like to yap. I was thinking, what if I just tried using a regular text object, like, wah? But there is one major issue, and that major issue is that these are not instances. If they were instances, and you could just do stuff like, you know, have all these options and everything, and then just do the animation in post. Like, you see how you have the options for, like, the beveling and all that? We just can't do that in GeoNodes. We just can't. It's so sad. But, like, could I, in theory? Like, it doesn't even have any attributes on it. So, if this got a little update where it stored, like, some more data on it, that would be cool. But unfortunately, no. So here, I actually think it's a bit more convenient to have the text right here. Actually, wait, what the text object? I haven't checked in a while. Oh no, is there an option for like what the actual text is without going into edit mode? Huh, no there isn't. I don't think. Maybe there is, I'm not sure. But in my head, it's more convenient just to have the text right there. So that you can, you know, just do whatever you want, and then that happens. And you cannot animate the text. Maybe I should have it so that you can switch between different, that would be possible. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know anything about GeoNodes, and that's my problem. Well, that's the thing. With GeoNodes, its purpose is to make new modifiers possible and replace the old modifiers with better ones. So for the average user, the average user should not have to know basically anything about geometry nodes. It's just you have a modifier and tons of settings that you can play around with. That's what I want to make. And then for the more advanced users who want to make like crazy particle systems and stuff like that, and crazy effects, geometry nodes is good for that. But the modifiers, that'll be good for the average user. But yeah, I just need to change a few things. So, in summary, as I go and close out the stream... Oh, the text is not scaling. Whoops, I accidentally... Wait, what? Did I accidentally disconnect the, Oh no, okay, they are there. It's just that the rotations are having a grand time. What was I saying? What I need to do is change the easing function and then upload that to my everyday geometry node groups, which it should. Let me just check Gumroad real quick. Gumroad. I have let Gumroad atrophy a ton just because I've been so out of the Blender content loop, which has been very nice if I'm being honest. It's not caring about the online... Oh! I made those for 4.1 or later. Oh, good thing I still have 4.1. Wait, but menu sockets didn't exist in 4.1. Oh, did I update it to 4 points? No. Wait, did the menu switch exist in 4.1? Wait a minute. Well, I'll look into that. It'll either be 4.1 or later, but that one does have the easing functions in there. Actually, I think I'm going to keep it with the booleans just because it pre-exists, but at least that one, the one with the slider, is more useful. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay. Let's see. Hey Ben, great to catch you. Got one question. Do you know how to anything about a dissolve node, like edge dissolve for generated geometry? I know one of the devs has been, like, one of the community devs has been kind of working on it, but I'm not sure it will. We'll see if it comes out in 5.1. It might be a bit more technical than we imagine. Yes. But with that being the last question, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Look out for cool things coming in 5.1. 2 new nodes were added, and the font socket is very, very nice. We may be getting more sockets, who knows? But thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.